Alright YouTube, what's going on? It's Mesa, back at it with some Destiny 2. In this video, we're going to talk all about how to increase your power level. I'm going to show you some fun and easy ways that you can increase your power rather quickly. As you can see here, after day 1, I am power level 240. I got a bunch of legendary shards to hopefully buy some stuff from Xur this Friday and basically get you ready to go do the Nightfall. You unlock the Nightfall once you hit about 230, and this is for the folks, obviously, you finished the story, you want to get your power level up. There's a number of things you could do, but I'm going to show you what's most effective for me, or at least got me to 240 on the first day. Now you're probably saying, why are you rushing things? Well, hold on. I want to get one character ready for the raid. I'd like to get a second character, so next week I can have 2 characters to go through the raid. So you can see here, the Nightfalls are unlocked for me, and you're gonna take a look. There's Prestige mode. I'm gonna show you here in a second. Prestige mode, I'm not gonna go near it. It's 300, and that's where the locked loadouts are. So there's 2 Nightfalls. 240 and then 300. Now the level cap is 300, but no, it's not. It's 350. The raid is going to drop 350. When you go to infuse things, it says items will infuse up to 350. So forget about what the strategy guide said. The soft cap, I'm going to say, is 300. Raid is going to be 350 to drop. What the power level recommendation will be for the normal raid, we'll have to wait and see next week. All right, so let's get some simple things out of the way. So there's a number of activities you can do post the story to increase your power level, right? Let's go through the most effective ones, or the ones that I found most effective to getting drops more often, and ones that are going to be higher power level than what I already have. Now, first off, I'm going to recommend spending a lot of time in the European Dead Zone. First off, let's talk about heroic public events or just regular public events. If you want to know how to trigger heroic public events, Dado Does Destiny just put up a great video explaining how to trigger them. I don't even know how to do all of them. I just know this one right here. You kill these the little servitors around the big servitor, and then it'll trigger the heroic. I noticed when you get the heroic version, you do get more drops, okay? So at this point, you already know that when you get a drop, right, it's going to take your highest power number that you could be. You don't have to have everything equipped, and it's going to give you drops based on that number. So whatever you have on, doesn't matter. Whatever you have in your inventory, let's say you're, make up a number here, you're 230, right? It'll want to give you something that's maybe a little bit higher, right? Like 231, 232, something like that. But some activities are going to give you even higher stuff in the 240s. So I just completed the heroic public event. I do a quick power check on myself. All right, I have my highest gear on. I'm 218. So I'm going to get myself 2 drops because this was heroic, and some EDZ tokens. We're going to talk about that. You want to farm the living heck out of those EDZ tokens. Now, the 2 drops it gave me were 220, just a little bit higher than what I am right now, which was 218. Now, next up on the European Dead Zone, you want to do as many lost sectors as you can, and just because you've completed one before, you could go back and do it over again. I don't think there's any sort of timer or something on it. Every time I've gone to the same lost sector, right, now it's at the point where I know where a whole bunch of them are, I just load in, I go to that lost sector, and it gives me drops that are higher than what I'm currently at, and of course EDZ tokens, which we're going to talk about Devrim in a little bit. But this lost sector here, this is right outside the church where Devrim K is, and I do this every time I fly in, just because I know it's some easy loot right here. I have not gotten any legendaries yet out of any of these. I don't know, maybe in the other patrols, but this is more for the folks that, hey, you're trying to get up to at least 240, maybe 300, you want to do the Nightfall and so forth, but man, do the lost sectors over and over. If you know where they are, you fly into the destination, you're doing an adventure or something, stop in, kill the boss, get the chest. You're more than likely going to get some blues that are going to be higher than what you currently have. So as you can see, I've got a green ghost on. Now that green ghost, I put it on specifically for the European Dead Zone because it's going to highlight where the treasure chests are all over the European Dead Zone. That lost sector you just saw, my class item was 217. It gave me a 222. Here we are just finishing off a public event. It's going to give me some loot here. It just gives me 1 item. And of course, European Dead Zone tokens. All right, enough. I keep talking about them like crazy. Let's go see Devrim K. So when you're in the European Dead Zone, you're doing your lost sectors, you're doing public events, you're finding chests, you're collecting tons of EDZ tokens, you turn them in for rep. Now it's going to tell you, he's going to give me something right here in this particular clip that's 227, way higher than where I'm at right now in this particular character. He's got his own loot pool. And look, he gave me 2 items, he gave me some weapon shaders, and also gave me an emblem. So now they're going to be legendaries, but remember, you don't always want to hold on to all of them. Here we take a look. I got a 227 weapon, and let's see what I get. Oh, this is an awesome full auto sidearm. 227. Now, even though I got legendaries that bumped me up, it doesn't mean I'm going to hold on to them. If you don't like something, dismantle it. Get those legendary shards. You're going to need them to buy things from Xur. You're going to need them for infusion. At this stage of the game, guys, don't just keep each legendary just because it's a legendary, okay? If it's good, hold on to it, okay? And then you can see if you want to mod things. I am storing all of my weapon and armor mods like crazy, okay? I'm not modding anything until we're getting close to the raid. But yeah, that's that lost sector that's literally right outside where Decrypting is. There's usually treasure chests nearby too, just grabbing more EDZ tokens. And you know what? I'm going to go do that lost sector once again. I don't know, like I said before, not sure if there's a timer or anything, but every time I fly in, this one's available, I go in and I get higher drops. But I noticed around, once I hit like in the 230s or so forth, I think it just kept stating, well, it kept giving me drops at about 230, 235, something like that. I don't think it could go above 240. Not 100% sure on that one. So spend a lot of time in the European dead zone, but when you start to feel frisky, you want to explore, and you're getting high up into like the 230s, then start to go to Nessus, right? Do the same thing. Do the public events, do the lost sectors. I find they're a little bit more difficult, and you want to give in those consumables, which are the Nessus tokens, to fail safe. So you can see here, she gave me 2 legendaries, 236 chest piece. Now my heavy, well, power, I'm sorry, was 240, but my overall power level is 233. She gave me a 236 rocket launcher. So I got a lot of power weapons. I'm not keeping them all. If some are good, I'm going to hold on to it. If not, I'm going to dismantle them to get legendary shards. This next tip, very important, guys. Every weapon you have that you don't want and every piece of armor that you don't want, dismantle it, you get gunsmith materials. Go see the gunsmith. Turn them in for reputation. Easy Engrams here. You're going to get yourself some weapon mods, and you're also going to get yourself a weapon that's going to be legendary and is going to be more powerful than what you currently have. Next up, this is pretty obvious. Anytime you get a legendary Engram or exotic Engram, go decrypt it right away. When it drops, it's already predetermined at what power it's going to be. So here I am decrypting. I got myself a Scathe Lock. I love that thing. That's my second one. But this one was actually higher than the one that I got previously. So what am I going to do with the old one? I'm just going to ditch it, get myself some legendary shards. Next up, what's very important is Cade 6 is going to give you what's called weekly flashpoints. You're going to go to a destination. This week it's the European Dead Zone, and you're going to complete public events. They don't have to be heroic. Just complete public events. When you get to 100% in your milestone, come back to Cade 6. He's going to give you powerful rewards. So in this particular clip, I got myself an exotic and a sniper. Now I'm 230 here in terms of power. He gives me 245 sunbracers, which is like sunbreakers from Destiny 1, and also he gave me a 240 sniper. So this is something it's easy, really easy to do. Just go do public events, and he's going to give you powerful rewards. So I got a feeling you're going to get an exotic and a legendary every time you do these, but I think it's almost a guaranteed exotic every time you complete a flashpoint, because flashpoints are considered Nightfall tier rewards. Next up, let's talk about doing strikes. So you've got the Vanguard strike playlist, and whenever you complete a strike, you get a chest, right? You're going to get some drops and also these Vanguard tactician tokens. Now, let's just talk about the strikes. First off, I love them. I wouldn't exactly jump in there right away because they are a little difficult, and depending on your fire team, they're a little tedious. I've had some strikes that have gone just really, really quickly, and then others where we were there forever. I like the new mechanics in the new strikes, but when you're at that point when you're trying to get to like 240, 245, I'd wait until you hit about 240 to start doing the strikes. If you're in your 220s, 230s, you know what? Stick to the public events, the lost sectors, Engrams, Banshee, dismantling things. I would wait on the strikes a little bit, guys. They're a little tedious, and in terms of getting you up to speed, you know what? Not that it's a waste of time. If you want to go in and have fun, by all means do it. I would just say it's a little bit easier to get your power level up by doing those other things like, you know, seeing the NPCs, getting drops from them, going to see Banshee, cash in everything, every gunsmith material you have, stuff like that. Wait on the strikes, in my opinion. So once you get a bunch of the tactician tokens, you want to go obviously take them to the Vanguard, cash them in, get yourself an Engram, get yourself a package. Now what I find is I would do about maybe 2 to 3 strikes before you actually go see him. Don't waste your time. Do about 2 to 3 strikes, maybe even 4 strikes, and then you can get yourself a package. If you're feeling really frisky, do 5 or 6, and you might be able to get yourself 2 packages. Not 100% sure how it works early on, if it's going to take more of these tactician tokens, but he can drop legendary shards. I have not gotten any from the packages from him. I've only gotten about 3 to 4 packages from him from grinding some strikes. But back to my whole premise, I feel like the public events, the lost sectors, cashing in stuff to the NPCs on Nessus and the European Dead Zone, way more effective for getting your power level up than grinding strikes. But I mean, the strikes are fun. So again, I would probably hit the strikes when you hit about, I'd say about like the 230s, then start doing strikes. But also, I need to give a disclaimer. I was doing all the strikes, doing everything solo yesterday, okay? Strikes might be more effective if you're in there with the team, you guys are communicating, and you could burn through those strikes. But for me personally, doing it solo the whole time, I found I could only do about 2 to 3 strikes because some of them were just taking way too long. But then again, I got on early. I was in strikes where people were only like level 15. They were going to be level 19. You don't want to do that, okay, guys? You want to go in there when you're at least 20. And I would say light level, I'd do it about 220, 230. That's just my personal recommendation. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Hashtag made it to the end, and I hope you found this video helpful. Do me a favor, drop a like at this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream. Usually, you know, he's on YouTube, and that's it. I'm out of here like Vladimir.